right, so Sean McCartney was the first one, man. Shout out to Sean McCartney, man. He was feeling some type of way about 30 minutes before the show started today. He says, first people want Kenny out. Then when he's out for an ankle injury he's been dealing with before the game started, you blame him for not playing. Yeah. All right.
Well, obviously,
all right.
Serious.
All right.
Had surgery this morning. He's gonna be out for 2 to 4 weeks. They say. I am starting to get concerned about the Kenny injuries. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, man, elaborate, baby. Talk to me, man.
I'm just getting
this your dude, bro.
Right, I'm just getting bummed out about him because anytime we get something right going on offense, or anytime you feel like him and just the whole the team as a whole, we just have some momentum on offense going from game to game. Because first time it happened was we could even talk about last year. He missed games with concussions, had to miss a full week, the Panthers game and whatnot, just not finishing games. But this year, Jaguars game, we were coming off of that really nice fourth quarter against the Rams. And then can't even finish out the Jaguars game. And I keep bringing up the fact that if he finishes that game, I think we win.
Yeah.
Or I think it plays out a different way.
Yeah.
And it happens again this week. And I would say the exact same thing. I mean, the game was 3-3. It should have been 10-3. We're 4th and 1. Just do a QB sneak in the end zone. But Kenny gets hurt, and then he's not able to finish out the rest of the game. Combine that with some of his helter-skelter play this year. It's tough. It's tough to just have this big leg to stand on, to say come on, keep faith. You got to keep doing it. Just because he's not available to do that, to string good games together. Coming off that Cincy one, it's okay, just keep it going, especially against a shitty defense like the Arizona Cardinals. And I thought he was playing fine. A lot of people, based off yesterday's game, will make you think that Kenny was the worst quarterback of all time, and he's not the guy, and he's terrible, this and that. I thought he was playing fine. I thought we had some good drives going. I thought he made some good throws. Can't do anything about the Mason Cole snap at his feet. That stalled out one of them. But yeah, unable to finish the game. It's just tough to constantly just bring up hypotheticals of, all right, we would have been in a better spot if Kenny would have finished the game out, but the reality of the situation is he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it's just tough. I mean, I'm not writing Kenny off at all, but now he's going to be out for another at least 2 to 4 weeks. Yeah. So the sample size of what we're seeing from him and how we want that certainty of he's the guy. We can be confident in giving the keys over to him and building around him long term. It's tough with the injuries, and again, some of the play this year hasn't been up to snuff, but I do have the things that I look at and say, these are examples of him being the guy. We just need it more put together all around.
Yeah. Nah, man, you hit on some dope points, man. And in all seriousness, when I think of Kenny's time, it has been a lot of variables at play, just right?
Feels incomplete. These games that he's not finishing out are almost a little microcosm of his career thus far as a Steeler. Just it feels incomplete.
So when we talk about, like I said, man, some of just where he's been at through his career, right? The variables. We know, all right, O-line at one point has been a variable. Coordinator, when it was Matt Canada, has been a variable. Switching coordinator to Eddie Faulkner and Mike Sullivan calling plays, an additional variable. The dynamic of our running situation, first half of the season versus what has been these past 4 games, right? A lot of different variables. And then, you throw in his inconsistencies. One moment he makes some dope plays. You see the big throw to George Pickens. The other moments they're criticizing should he have hit Calvin Austin in the flat versus trying to, scramble and ultimately getting hurt on the play. With him, it's just been a lot of that. And then, like you talk about, when he's not available to rectify or further confirm one way or the other, it leaves you with just a lot of question marks. And you don't want those question marks, especially after essentially 2 seasons of a guy being out there. And like I said, the weird part is this: he's a first rounder, so you have a certain level of expectations. This is the Steelers. We also have a team expectation. Then you're following Ben Roethlisberger, so we know all of those things are at play. But I do think multiple things can be true when discussing Kenny Pickett. Are those variables valid? Yes. Can Kenny play better? And does he need to play better? Yes. Has his availability shown to be another part that has been consistent with his game? I would say yes also. It doesn't mean that it's the end. It doesn't mean that you write him off. I feel like if you a Kenny supporter, man, you lock in with Kenny because this is the time that's going to really show if you down for him or not. When the adversity is there, when this is the as low as it can get, right? We done fired a coordinator. We done switched coordinators. You look half good one time, half bad one time. They want to see you do this. It's a lot going on with them. And now you're hurt. You can't even go out there and prove nothing else. So you really got to just sit on it right now.
That really sucks.
Right.
So because the door's open.
Yeah, the door's open.
People to have conversations. Who knows how
Absolutely,
Mitch does.
Man. And because it's multiple games at the end of the season, if he doesn't get a chance to get back, there is no stopping them from drafting something, bringing something in free agency, even higher in, because there is really even more questions about him going forward because we're not going to get a chance to see him. He can't control that, though. And if you're a supporter of Kenny, you can't control that. But what you can control, and if you Kenny, the same message I would tell him is, bro, while you waiting, man, you do what you need to do. You watch that tape, you mentally get them reps in, you rehab, do what you got to do, attack it like you're supposed to. And whenever that opportunity does come again, if it's this season, heck, if it's in the off season and you having to compete against somebody, shoot, if they draft somebody, you got to go out there and prove it in the preseason. Man, be locked in. We ain't seeking comfort. Ain't nobody going to give you no handout. They're going to talk bad about you even more so if they bring in somebody else and that person does better. So for Kenny, man, you got to lock in. And if you're a supporter of him, man, ride with him, baby, because it's that time. But unfortunately, since he won't be able to go back out there, now that door that we have been talking about is really open. Because if Mitch plays well, now we're going to be talking about that. If Mitch doesn't play well, now we're talking, okay, does Mason Rudolph get an opportunity? If Mason Rudolph plays well, now we're like, okay, well, does Mason deserve a more serious look? If Mitch and Mason play bad, now we really over here like, well, dang, do we draft something? Do we give up assets to get something? Or do we bring in a veteran, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, one of these type of dudes that might be available in free agency next offseason? But that's kind of where we at. And that doesn't even begin to talk about the coordinator situation. Because remember, Bengals game, man, the approval rating for Eddie Faulkner and Mike Sullivan was way high, bro. 400 yards total offense, man. See how people was talking with the boys yesterday? Look drastically different, bro.
No problems with that. I think Kenny getting hurt hurts the team. Like, you're expecting him to play the whole game. And I don't even think Mitch looked bad yesterday.
I would agree. I thought he played decent, man.
No, I don't think our O-line really did either quarterback that many favors. But, I think it does affect things. Like, Kenny's the starter for a reason. Your game plan around him, the whole game flow is revolving around him. It's a morale
dump when your starter, the guy that regardless of feelings about Kenny, and this was the same thing I was saying even when it was Mitch, regardless of what outside people might feel, internally, when we lock in and say you're the guy that's starting this week, man, we locked in with you, man. We believe it. We like, yo, you got to be the guy that lead us, man. So when you go down, yeah, it sucks. We like, bro, you look at how the O-lineman ran over there like, dang, man, like, come on, get up, bro. Because, yo, man, you the leader. So, yes, there is going to be a natural loss in that. Now, Mitch, I thought came in and did an admirable job, but the same way we look at the Kenny loss, I thought on the flip side, the Atlanta Roberts loss was just as critical, man.
Yeah.
Because he's literally the quarterback of the defense right now in the way that he's been playing. And I thought both of those had an impact on us, but I thought the E-Rod one mattered a lot more than the Kenny one. I thought as a whole, offensively with Kenny, once he went down, we still were flowing fine. The play that really cost us was obviously the fumble in the third quarter because that shifted the dynamic of the game. Then from there, they go 99 yards. We had a chance to get off the field. We had a 3rd and 6. We missed the tackle. It was Michael Walker, missed the tackle. Michael Carter burst for like 30 yards. Then after that, they go down and score. That changed the whole dynamic of the game going forward, the whole flow, because we were still leaning on our running game, play action pass, and that was the benefit for our offensive line. I thought our offensive line played well in the running game. You watch Mason Cole, people talk bad about Mason Cole, not in the run game.
Najee and Jalen had decent games.
Najee and Jalen Warren have multiple 6+ yard runs running through holes that Mason Cole was the guy leading it through. So that's my whole thing of, it's like, I get it. Mason Cole had the 2 bad snaps, and I did see one pass protection specifically where he got beat. But if we going to talk pass protection and make it as Mason Cole was the worst player out there in pass pro, that's factually inaccurate. It was Broderick, absolutely. And who was the guy that beat him multiple times?
That dude you're talking about.
Yeah, the little caveman, the little Tyler Matacavage cat dude guy who was like, yo, you don't gotta worry about him, but you might want to worry about him. He ain't really God tier, but he has great effort. He's fundamentally cycle, do all the little things. He's Rudy but better, and it showed, man. Shoot, the first red zone opportunity we get, it's like, man, I'm looking like, yo, who's this dude that's hitting him out? Oh, of course, Lil Dennis. Then even when Mitch get an opportunity, I'm like, yo, who's hitting Mitch? Oh, Lil Dennis. And that's the part where it's like, as a whole, we got to be better now. Part of that is on Coach Tomlin. We're not about to act like he's not in this as well. When you hear a Jalen Warren talking about, yeah, man, we kind of took them lightly. When you see Broderick at times getting beat by Dennis Gardick, and it looks more like, yo, he just finishing better than you're finishing right now. I look at coaching on that. So we not about to act like Coach Tomlin was just, clear of that, because he's not. But at the same time, y'all already know how I feel. Them players are the dudes that's out there. Them players are the ones that's controlling everything. Players execute last week, man, we won't holler about not a near coach in the building. Everybody look great. Everybody getting extensions. This week, players ain't playing well. We over here like, man, hold on. That dude suck. Fire him still, man. And we don't know about that coach either. That's my thing with the whole consistency part. It's just like, we got to have the dudes that are out here executing the way that it is. Now, shoot, I even saw another article, man, because this is what happens when you start losing. You get like that smear campaign stuff. My man, was it Schobert? Even Schobert was out there talking. He was like, hey, man, they used to just veteran players over there. They're not used to like having to coach you hard and do all the little details. They put that responsibility on the players. Maybe that's the issue. And we like, dang, now we saying we got the wrong players in the building. We don't got the players that are good enough, mature enough to be professionals. Because that's how that came off the beat. But then I'm like, I get it. When you start losing, all this type of stuff pop up. We brought up the Ben case last week, hollering about Matt Canada. All this type of stuff happens when we playing like how we playing lately, man. It's unfortunate, but I don't feel like it's as crazy as people be making it sound at times, man.
What? Yesterday's loss?
As a whole, yeah. And the season as a whole right now. I mean, the way people talk right now, season's done. It's over. Why we even playing on Thursday?
Right. Yeah, that's how it felt in the moment. Yes, I wouldn't even say no. I'm sorry.
It felt like that one was, yeah.
I wouldn't say for me personally. I felt like the season was over yesterday. I was just pissed and it was like disgusting. It was just a terrible feeling.
It definitely was.
Like that.
I'm with you.
But no. I don't think the season's over. In fact, I think we can win our next 3-4 games with Mitch.
I'm like, what has changed? Like, granted, Kenny going down, yes, that hurts. E-Rob going down, yes, that hurts. But if we were just simply saying, man, the difference, Kenny to Mitch, is it, I know for you might be like, yo, it's drastically different. Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to feel like it's this drastic gap one way or the other right now.
Though, it goes back to that Kenny conversation, though. Like, I thought after that Bengals game, that's what we're going to take the step going forward. And that would have took a step. That would have separated. Yeah, yes. That's a step above Mitch, clearly. And I thought, again, I don't think he played bad yesterday.
I'm with you.
He played a half. We should have been up 10-3.
I'm with you, bro.
And he gets hurt. Would have loved to see how the second half plays out if he's still in there. But we don't. And that's the problem with Kenny right now. For me, it's just the injuries. It's just him not being available. Because I think when he's out there, now that we got rid of Matt Canada and everything, I think he can be really good for us. But now he's not out there to show it. And it's happened just too many times thus far throughout his career.
And look, and now this evaluation doesn't just affect Kenny. Who else is it affecting? Mike Sullivan and Eddie Faulkner as well. So going back, even with the whole Matt Canada hire part of when we talk about coordinators coming in here,
right?
This is all that they got to think about. It's like, all right, play is one part, availability is another part, processing information, blitz, coverage, all of this stuff. So it's like, I know in a vacuum, we just look at it and say, yo, this is the Steelers. We should get anybody we want. This is a perfect job. Come in here and take it for less money. But when you think about all these variables, it's like, bro, it might be some dudes. It's like, yo, I'm not eager to just jump in that situation right now. Unfortunately, this is what we have created. And it's going to be on us to get us about that situation. But that's just one of them things that I do think we're going to have to consider even when we get to this hiring process. Whether it is the dudes that we currently got working in interim roles become the full-time guys, or if we go outside and bring in somebody new.
Yeah, just Just frustrating. And this is actually Knight Rider 16 plays into my point here.
Yeah.
It says shoulda, woulda, coulda, we would have still lost. Deke, don't be dumb, bro. But like, I don't want to keep bringing up those hypotheticals. That's kind of my point.
Well,
That's my like.
I don't think it's hypothetical because when we just talk Kenny Pickett as a whole, the one thing that has been constant with him is his ability to finish games, his ability to win
Right.
one-score games. So regardless of personal opinions of Kenny, regardless of if we want to critique him versus pressure, versus how fast he processes blitz, where is my hot, where is my escape throw, or if we want to criticize how he escapes out the pocket, climb the pocket, that's fine. But the one thing that has still been proven as a constant in his
Picks up
favor,
as the game goes.
that is the truth. And regardless of how we want to talk about it, the whole fourth quarter Kenny started because of that being the constant in his game. So yeah, I can't sit here and act like, oh, if he don't get hurt, there isn't a higher probability that we might get up out of there because he has shown consistency with that.